Hello. It's been a while. I don't remember what my last video was, but I know it was months ago. 2023 was a really weird year, but it is 2024 now, and I have some updates. Not really, but I just wanted to have a little bit of reflection on my first year as a officially diagnosed autistic, ADHD-er, anxious person with PTSD. So as you may know, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Kirsten, aka KR Sexton or Curdy or whatever you want to call me. This channel is dedicated towards my neurodivergence journey. I was late diagnosed as a 32-year-old. I am now 33 and a half. And it's been a weird year. And just wanted to talk about it because I know that a lot of people are also on their journey to either being self-diagnosed, newly realized, or officially diagnosed. It seems like it's new territory for a lot of people, such as myself. So just wanted to let you know how things have been. So I want to get straight into it and not ramble too much because this could easily be like a 35-minute video. So number one, meeting new people that are like myself. That was a huge game changer for me in 2023. Right after I was diagnosed, I actually joined an employee resource group through my company that I work for neurodivergent employees, and they accepted me with open arms and taught me the ins and outs of like how to function as an autistic ADHDer in the work environment. And it was such a safe space for me to like really learn and be vulnerable, and I swear they saved me from my emotions because I was feeling like I was in a just dark pit of despair when I found out. As a reminder, like I wasn't upset with my diagnosis. I was upset that it took so long for me to figure out what it was and not having the vocabulary to talk about what I was struggling with. So I was hit a very, very, very dark period going into 2023, and I kept telling myself like I can't wait to see what I'm like a year from now, which here I am. But I have a lot of that. I owe a lot of that to this employee resource group, and I am now a leader of that group, and I'm continuing on this tradition of like just providing the safe space and having these open conversations about our struggles and bringing people together that are like-minded, and it's a beautiful thing. I hope that everybody finds a community like that, and making these videos is kind of my way of doing that. I want people to feel like they have a safe space if they're having a conversation with me, or just having a place where you feel like you're not alone in the world. So even if you're just watching and just listening to what I'm saying, like I want to create that warmth for the people who were struggling like I was for so many years. So yeah, the main thing of 2023 is like meeting people like myself for, I think, the first time, because we're fully realizing that we have that commonality, and having those really important conversations. So game changer there. Number two is like figuring out how to accommodate myself, and I think it changes a lot. It depends on like the mood that you're in, but really being in tune with like what it is you need in that moment. For me, it was figuring out like how can I create, because I work from home and I live here, how to create a home that really functions for you and your needs. Fidget toys, you know, the normal stuff for fidgety neurodivergent people like myself. But beyond that, it's like, I think I have a video of this. You can go watch that other video where I talk about like coasters. Like there's all these simple things of figuring out how to make life easier and like more comfortable for you. Number three is saying no to things and creating boundaries and kind of living a little bit selfishly, I guess. It's really just about like being in tune with what you need in that moment and kind of verbalizing what you need and not feeling ashamed or burdened for feeling that way. I think a lot of this used to be like me just blaming it on anxiety, like, oh, I need to leave because I'm anxious. It's more about like having an understanding of like why you're feeling anxious and like accepting it, and not like accepting it as part of kind of who you are, and not really framing it as a bad thing. It's just like, oh, I'd prefer not to be in this very busy environment where I'm very visually and mentally overstimulated, and giving yourself the okay of just dismissing yourself and communicating like, I'm just not feeling this. It's very empowering to be able to firmly say that. Understanding that there is a difference between like neurotypical people and neurodiverse people. You kind of have to live a little bit selfishly, and not be so afraid of like hurting other people's feelings when you know that it's something that is something that's going to enhance your life by saying no or creating that boundary. Yeah, because I feel like I've been trying to make other people comfortable for so long, but it's not doing me any favors. So learning to say no, and nah, I don't really feel like doing that. That's okay, you know? It's okay. Number 4, I don't know why I started numbering these. I have no idea what these numbers are gonna be. Number 4, a big one is I got my dog Rigby. I was inspired by, is her name Caitlin? Oh man, I'm so sorry, I forgot her name, but she was in Love on the Spectrum, and I think she lives in California, and I follow her TikTok account, and she has a lot of really great information about autistic girls, women, people in general. And she has a service dog, and every time I see her service dog, like my I want one. So in June I decided to get myself a puppy to train to become my service dog. So I got one. His name is Rigby, and he is a border collie, golden retriever, and English Shepherd mix, and I got him from a local breeder. It was a very controversial decision for me to make, to get a dog from a breeder versus like rescuing one, and I did try to go the route of rescuing a dog, but in that time, like, I had all summer to train him, and I just wasn't seeing the dog that I needed. The local breeder that I went through, they have like a 70% rate of these dogs becoming service dogs. Some are just pets, but many go on to become service dogs. And you have the support of the breeder, you have a community. I made the decision to go with this breeder, and I've been training him myself. He's about 10 months old now, and his training has hit a wall because he's in his angsty teenager phase that I'm hoping he's gonna get out of. But I might bite the bullet and get a trainer to get me over that edge to, you know, make him become a service dog as opposed to just like an obedient dog. Anyways, I wanted to get a psychiatric service dog to help me with being in public. I'm trying to get over my fear of like eating in public and being in public. And I'm hoping that a service dog will help me with that. There's a lot of things, but I like to do a lot of things by myself, and just having a service dog with me will help with that. I'm also experiencing like a lot of dizziness and like heart palpitations and all these weird body things that doctors just don't know what is going on. They just blame everything on anxiety. So like just having him for like some stability would be nice. Anyways, I can make a whole video about Rigby at another time, but anyways, I got Rigby last year, and so far he's been helping a lot, but also it's like a new issue of like, I have a puppy. Puppies are so demanding and it's so annoying sometimes. So it creates a whole new like slew of issues, but it's a good distraction, and it's keeping my mind busy when normally my mind is just racing in thought loops and whatever. So there's that. What number are we on? Number 5. Special interests. I'm really honing in on the special interests, and I love it. I'm kind of giving myself the okay of, especially because it's winter, like fully indulging by staying home, doing all the things I love, and just not feeling any sort of shame about how dorky they are, anything like that, just fully embracing it. So right now I'm like really into Life is Strange games and the usual Nancy Drew games. That's always going to be an obsession of mine. But like ghost shows and like wearing clothes that represent stuff that I love. Who cares about trends? I've never cared about trends. Whatever. So yeah, like more special interests. And that makes you happy, right? That's what neurodivergent people just thrive on. It's just special interests. I started a ballet class, which I love. I've always wanted to do ballet. And I started it as a 33-year-old woman, and I'm super proud that I was able to do that. But also like going back to setting boundaries and listening to your body and all that, like there are certain days where I don't want to do ballet, so I'll just attend virtually, which is really great. But I have that option now, and I don't have to beat myself up for not feeling it that day, but I can still feel accomplished because I did it, and I really love it. Number 6, when you get diagnosed, your just mind is racing and you're just reliving all these different scenarios of just, it's a lot. It's a lot. So the first few months up until I got rugby, my mind was just analyzing everything, going way back into my childhood, into high school, into college, into my career. And it was pretty obsessive. And I was just, I kept thinking like how easy it would have been if when people looked at me weird, like, why are you doing that? Why are you like this? If I could just have the words like, oh, I'm autistic. Oh, I have ADHD too. This is my brain. This is why. But I didn't have that knowledge yet. But scenarios like that, you keep going back and you're reliving them over and over again. But eventually they kind of slow down. They will slow down after a while, and you can not move on with your life, but life will get easier. And things like getting rugby helped a lot. And then also just getting into your hobbies more. It's also like some inner child work. It's like thinking back about your history. What did you want to do as a kid? How can you, make yourself feel better? Ballet was one of the things that I did for myself. And it's been really great. Number 8, just spreading awareness. Talking about stuff on Instagram, even posting like memes and just whatever little snippets. Like a lot of people have messaged me and said like, oh, I've had a hunch about myself. This sounds like what I'm also dealing with. I've had a lot of people say like, you inspired me to get a diagnosis. I have ADHD or I'm autistic. Spreading awareness, it's really freaking scary because for me, like I'm afraid of future employers knowing if I were to change jobs, like are they gonna judge me and not hire me because I'm openly autistic? That's my main fear, and it pisses me off that I have to censor myself so much when it shouldn't be a taboo topic. I think we should be more accommodating to people with disabilities, people of all kinds. It benefits everybody to be accommodating. Yeah, so like having more conversations, spreading awareness, it's super fucking scary. It's really scary. And I do feel judged by like maybe the neurotypical people that follow me. I feel judged by them. I feel like it's not really a safe space, especially when you know that they're like viewing your posts or viewing your stories, but they don't say anything. I do feel some judgment there, and that could be my rejection sensitivity, but it's like, I don't know what they're thinking. And there's this, I'm scared that people are gonna like look down on me or, I don't know. But overall, I do think that like spreading awareness about this is super important, and I hope that it leads to more people having some self-reflection. I think that, I forgot what the statistic is or the percentage is, but it's like a certain amount of people, a large amount of people aren't very self-aware. And I'm like, how can you not be self-aware? I'm like the most self-aware person. But there's a lot of people out there that are not self-aware, but I wish they would be. I think we can all benefit if like, people were self-aware. So yeah, spreading awareness. Number 8 is just self-acceptance. I think that I would always see myself as very like flawed and never said the right thing, or I don't know, rambled too much, made people feel uncomfortable. I think I was really hard on myself. I still am, but there's some acceptance there now, because hearing other people's stories, they relate so heavily to it. And I think it's just like giving yourself grace to just be imperfect has been really helpful. And just loving yourself is really important. Figuring out your strengths and your weaknesses, and then kind of like communicating, like being okay with communicating, like, oh, I'm not that great at that, I'm gonna try, but I might need some support here. Like with work, I know that sometimes it's hard for me to comprehend what a client is asking me for. I'm an art director, work with graphic designy stuff. But sometimes it's like really hard to figure out what the client's asking for. So I tend to ask someone else like, hey, can you help me kind of interpret this? And that's okay. It's like feeling okay with like, with your faults or your weaknesses, and like knowing that you also have a lot of strengths. Like I know I have a lot of strengths. I know what my weaknesses are, but I'm not gonna let them make me feel bad about myself or give me like imposter syndrome or whatever. Like I know that my brain is different, and I might be really good at things that other people might not be that great at. Like I know that being autistic comes with a lot of strengths, and I see a lot of strengths in other autistic people as well. I feel like 2023 was like a year of survival, but 2024 is like a thriving year for me. Like I want to unmask a little bit more and really just express myself a lot more, where at 2023 I just felt like I didn't know who I was, and there was too many new emotions, and yeah, it was kind of a depressing year. So 2024 is gonna be good, I think. It's gonna be more creative. I had 2 weeks off in December for the holidays, and I was able to melt into the couch and play video games and sew and craft and do all these things that I love to do. And I think that it came me, oh my God. I think that it brought me back to life. So I'm thinking 2024, I'm gonna feel more creative and take some trips, some nerdy trips, and just focus on like feeling happy. I don't know what number we're leaving off on, but just wanted to say, if you're watching this, hey, I hope that you feel confident enough to maybe leave a comment or reach out, and know that you're not alone in your struggles, and also your wins. And I hope you also have a good year, and I hope you have some confidence to also share your story, because that's how we all learn and grow from one another. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging around. Sometimes it surprises me that people still watch, since a lot of people found me through my art videos and Etsy stuff and all that good stuff, but a lot of people stuck around, so I'm stoked to see you, and let's make it a good one. You want to say hi to Rigby? No.